Hey, church family. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe and healthy. It's so good to be with you on this Wednesday as we get together for a little midweek Bible study and devotional time. And I'm so glad that you've chosen to take a little time out to join us today for just that. To basically illustrate the mixed up values of his day, Danish philosopher Soren Kierkegaard told a modern day parable about thieves who broke into a jewelry store at night. But instead of stealing anything, they merely switched the price tags, putting high value tickets on custom jewelry and putting bargain tags and tickets on premium gems. And I find that to be a pretty accurate illustration of what Jesus said when he came. He looked at the world's values and declared them to be upside down. All of the price tags were wrong. Greatness, he said, is to be found in service to others, not in self-service of ourselves. Self-sacrifice is the only way to save one's life. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Statement after statement sought to change people's priorities and preferences. In Revelation chapter 2, we find this statement from Jesus himself to a group of Christians. He said, I know your afflictions and your poverty, yet you are rich. That's in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. Persecuted and oppressed because of their faith, these followers of Jesus had fallen on hard times, specifically financially, and yet Jesus could look at them and declare them rich because of their faith. And then just a chapter later, Jesus turns to another group of believers and he tells them this. He says, you say, I'm rich, I have acquired wealth and do not need a thing, but you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. That's in Revelation chapter 3, verse 17, just a chapter later. You see, Jesus doesn't see things the way the world sees them. He knew that these wealthy Christians were destitute on the inside because of their faith. And so you have one group of Christians who are poor financially by the world's standards, yet Jesus calls them rich. And you have these other believers who were rich by the world's standards, and yet Jesus calls them wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. You see, true riches aren't found and measured with dollar signs. They can't be found in bank accounts or retirement accounts or 401ks or storage units or warehouses or wherever we might put our riches. True wealth doesn't rise and fall with the stock market or fluctuate based on the interest rates. A person can have lots of money, plenty of material possessions, and yet still be very poor indeed. We can't trust the world's judgment as to who is rich and who is poor because the price tags aren't in the right place. So what matters? Well, Jesus would say, I think in a word, relationships. Our relationship with God and our relationships with other people. He says this in Matthew chapter 22, love the Lord your God. He's asked the question, what's the most important commandment? He says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. Love God and love people. Money, health, youth, material possessions, these are all temporary things that can be lost as quickly as they are gained. Being right with God is really the only eternal thing. And we can't be right with God if we aren't right with the people around us. And so, love God, love people. So don't trust the tags that the world has put on the things around us. Only Jesus can tell us what is really of value. And only Jesus can make us rich in the ways that truly count. Hope you have a blessed day. God bless.